So here's a little gentle reminder to everybody. It's lock oiling time. Have you been round? You know, the cold weather, the frost and the ice, and if there's any moisture in your locks, that's what's going to cause them to freeze up. So give all your locks a nice drink of oil now for the winter, and it'll just stop it from freezing that little bit, because any moisture you've got in there, you know, rain, weather, all that sort of stuff, chase that out now with a drop of oil, and you'll be nice, and make sure your locks are working and your keys are going in and out nicely, and that will just help you through the, you know, you can't stop the real hard frost, but it just might make the difference between opening your lock in the freezing cold and not opening your lock. And what we use, it's only a bit of carpet. When we put the chain on and we put that, simply string a bit of carpet and just simply lay it across or by it or over it, and you'd be surprised how much difference just a bit of matting just over where your lock is makes such a difference. Just on a frosty morning, it just makes it that little bit easier. You know, if it's really cold and frosty, there's not a lot you can do about it. They freeze up, but it gets rid of 50%. It makes it much easier. They've got a little bit of oil around them, so it's just before the frost begins to hit. It's some lock oiling time. And just a bit of, you know, just a 3-in-1 oil lubricates, cleans and prevents rust. Just put and you only need the smallest of drops. You don't need to make a hell of a mess like I do and get Debbie shouting at you, "You've oiled the locks, you idiot!" She'll come to get the car in the morning and she'll get covered in oil, and then I'll get the phone call, "My hands are covered in oil, you've oiled the locks, you idiot!" You don't need much. You don't need much at all. Sometimes I put a bit of a squirt in that way, or just get your key and put the smallest of dab along it, and then put your key in, turn it round, give it a good shake. All that oozing stuff that you can see in around that could be water and that could be frost. So a well-oiled lock in the winter makes all the difference. Yeah, just put a bit of just to chase the water. So on a frosty morning, it might be the difference between opening the lock to go to work and not opening the lock. Yeah. So it's lock oiling time. So I know it's you know, you take it for granted, don't you, locks on your doors, but you do now and again. You forget, don't you? You take it. It's one of those things you take for granted. But now and again, it's well worth getting your little tin of 3-in-1 oil and just putting a small amount of oil on everything. It makes such a difference. So I don't remember ordering this many locks on my door, so that goes up and down. That's one catcher. We've got another catcher here that's a hook, and we've got a catcher underneath that comes out. So usually you've just got one of those, either a hook or a bar that comes across, and we come down and we've got another, that's the door handle itself, and we've got another catching thing here, catches the door, and you keep going down, and then there's another thing that catches the door here, upwards and across, and of course there's still that little thing at the bottom that catches it. Wow! You must 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things you have to overcome to get through this door. Wow.